What is up, everybody? Circleflex here, taking a look at day 19 for the Advent calendar. So let's jump right into it. This is the EU. How did we said? I wonder how much they sell it for. 44 bucks. Well, at least it's not a bundle. What's kind of funny though is that this tank I basically got for free about a year ago, I think. There were like missions, so you had to kill like a couple of hundred of tanks with every nation, and you had like a month to do it or something like that. I don't remember specifically. You could buy like tokens for the nations you didn't have for like €10 a piece, so it would be like €60 in total. But if you grind it, you would get a cheaper and cheaper tier rate basically. The tank itself, I never really play it. Not really noteworthy too much. Apparently it got buffed, but I don't know in what sense. At some point, horrendous lower plate, pretty good turret. It's kind of it does have preferential. I'm pretty sure about that. So it's kind of like an IS-6 in that respect. Kind of has the same kind of gun. I guess we can just take a look at it at tanks.gg. We'll just compare those two, because I do think it has limited matchmaking. So if you choose the tier 8 heavy, and we take a look at the WZ, and then the other one we'll put in the IS-6. So you will see that the DPM is slightly lower. And the reload time is obviously, because of that, slightly longer. So let's see, shell velocities is slightly higher. So aim time is all the same, accuracy is the same, dispersion, all of that's the same. Turret first. Weapon handling with the turret first is better. Elevation is actually better. The gun depression is worse. So instead of the 6 on the I6, you get a 5 on the WZ. That's actually pretty important. That's a pretty big difference actually in playstyle. So, but it does go 50 forwards and reverse speed of 15. The power to weight, however, is not that high, so you're gonna not reach those high speeds, those 50 kilometers an hour, that fast. Whilst the I6 actually goes up to its 35 pretty quickly, but the terrain resistances are better on the WZ. So, but I'm pretty sure this is still the case that it goes 50, but it doesn't reach that 50 kilometers an hour that fast. The hull armor is 120 compared to the 100 on IS-6, but there's a little bit less slope there, and the turret armor is way better than IS-6. The IS-6, I feel like a lot of people don't even know this, but the IS-6 turret is actually not the greatest thing ever. There's a lot of guns that can just punch through the front, and even if you don't shoot there, almost everything can shoot basically the roof and the two commander hatches here. That is also the case of the WZ, that it has like the commanding cupolas kind of sticking out there. Again, I can show you guys real quick the armor layout of WZ, because it is a bit of a special tank, I suppose. So let's check this out real quick by stats. So tier 8 and heavy. So here you go. Also, what's worthy of note is that it fires AP normally and then heat as a secondary, but it does have 250 pen compared to the I6 pen, which is like way lower than that. And the stock pen is still the same as 175. So let's go 3D model. So as you can see, like the cupolas that are the cupolas that are sticking out are, pretty weak. Although it does get better near the sides here once you get a little bit of an angle on it. But the front will be good enough for a lot of the guns you will see of tier 7 and stuff like that. It's like the upper plate is pretty much impenetrable there. Lower plate, however, is pretty damn weak. It's like 120 all over the place, and it's pretty big as well. But if you manage to like hide the lower plate, and in a lot of city fights you will, this tank is actually, it is pretty good. So compared to the I6, it kind of feels a similar role. I think the WZ might actually be a pretty good contender, just because the turret isn't as weak as the IS-6, while it still maintains a pretty good upper plate. So for the for the price that you pay for this, I mean, it's just a full price tier 8. What you could also do, if you really want the Chinese heavy crew trainer, is that if you go to vehicles, there should be one that's always for sale and extremely similar. Or not. What the hell? Where is it? Don't they sell this? Oh, there we go. So the 112. Again, basically the same tank. Let's just compare that real quick. So the 112 is always for sale, and the WZ 111 is special somehow. But WZ is just simply looks to be pretty much simply better. Just get 1 degree more gun depression and a little bit more power to weight. But the WZ does seem to be a little bit better. The hull armor is 120 of the sides as well. That's pretty crazy, actually. So yeah, it just seems to be a better. The WZ just seems better to me here. I wonder why that is. That's a bit odd. Nope. Alright, let's go on a journey here. Let's take a look at the WZ. Tier 8. Heavy. Let's go. There we go. So it even has like less health and everything. And gun elevation is way poorer. Not that it really matters too much. The power to weight is better, but it's not gonna make that much difference. Even the reload times, everything is better. That is pretty crazy. So that we said does seem a whole lot better than the 1112, and I do believe that we said 111 has limited matchmaking. Let's quickly check that as well now, because now I'm beginning to doubt myself. Battle tier. No. Wait, how do you even tell what this is? I think this is 8-9. So I think the WZ is just literally just a better 112. I think this means 8-9. So that's actually pretty crazy, yeah. So I was right, and I thought I was right, but after seeing the comparison to the WZ of 111, I was kind of beginning to doubt myself. But maybe there's a difference in premium shells. Let's check. Oh, 250. So basically, WZ is just a better version of the 112. That's crazy. Although, wait a minute. This is... Alright, so the upper plate on the WZ is, if you're facing it frontally, because it does have a pike nose, by the way, the WZ. That's like 200, 220, something like that. And then, because it has a pike nose, the effective armor that kind of becomes less. It's a pretty good pike nose, though. It's not as rough as like the IS-3s and shit like that. But if you take a look at the 112 here, like that armor is just like, it's not a pike nose. It's just extremely angled. So you get like 220 as well. Funnily enough, wait, let me see. There we go. 240. 240. The lower plate is just as weak as the WZ was. And the third front is like insane. So yeah, I guess armor-wise, it's not even that much difference. So is it worthwhile to pick up a WZ 111? Honestly, now that I looked at it, you're probably better off buying a 112 during the 15% off, because then you won't have to buy a garage slot, and you get 15% off, so you have a cheaper tank. So that's a bit crazy, because this is 44 euros as well. This is like 44 euros and 99 cents for some reason. So, I mean, it's a good offer, as in like there's no added benefits or anything, I guess. It's just a rare tank kind of thing. But in all honesty, like if you compare it, like if you wanted something like this, you probably would have bought the 112 already, by the look of things. It does seem to be a relatively good tier 8 tank with limited matchmaking. Now that I've seen the armor layout and stuff, it's kind of funny that you don't see more of these. I guess that's because the Chinese heavies were not that very good, but they got buffed recently, and the 113 is actually pretty beastly now. So you might see more of these and more of the WZ or the 112s. But yeah, anyway, let's take a look at Asia real quick. Hopefully they got a good offer as well, because they've been kind of having shitty deals lately. Alright, so 59 pattern, we already talked about this yesterday. For $42 with a bunch of gold. I mean, the pattern the gun actually got buffed. When I played it, it had 171, 176 pen. It has 190 now in the stock ammo. The premium ammo did not get buffed. If you ever played the pattern, like the tier 9 or tier 10, and you kind of you really like that short aiming time, so like shooting on the move is like really nice. That's exactly what this gun does as well, but it doesn't have the alpha that makes the patterns so much fun, basically. But it is a pretty solid vehicle. I still feel like it could easily be a limited matchmaking tank. If you maybe nerf the mobility a little bit more, or something like that. I don't know. I kind of feel like it should be a limited matchmaking tank, but it doesn't. It does get full matchmaking, so. I still, actually, after the buffs, I would prefer the T44-3. And like I've stated before, in the sale of the pattern on the EU server, is that the main difference is that this thing gets a whole lot of gun depression. I think it has -8 or something. And even with the buffs to the Chinese heavies, or mediums, I should say, you have to get used to having almost no gun depression. The tier 8 premium got buffed to -5, and I still feel like that the 121, the tier 10, should get buffed to like -4, -5 instead of 3.5 that it has now. It got buffed recently by like half a degree. But the T44-3 has limited matchmaking, and the -5 gun depression actually makes it pretty playable now. And it also kind of prepares you for not having too much gun depression. Which you will have to learn playing the Chinese mediums of tier 9 and tier 10. And basically the entire medium tank line, especially tier 7 and above, basically. So I think the Type 59 pattern is kind of a funky tank. I kind of like it in some weird way, even though I didn't do too well with it. I don't know, I kind of liked it, weirdly enough. But I still think you would be better off buying a T44-3 at 50% discount later on during the Christmas sales. So yeah, there you go. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. I'll be back tomorrow, obviously, with another Advent calendar video and maybe some extra videos. Who knows? Hope you guys are enjoying this series and all the other things I put up on YouTube lately. In any case, hope to see you guys on my live stream tonight, twitch.tv/Sircon. It's Saturday, so I'm going to play something else. I'm not going to play World Tanks. I'm probably going to play some Armored Warfare. But anyway, hope you guys enjoyed the video, and peace out.